This could be your year.
What's up, y'all? It's under the Taurus? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I was just playing with it. Okay, I think my music is probably too loud. I think that's okay. Let me know if the music gets too loud. Okay, so yeah, I threw a grid on here. But I still don't see. Welcome back. Welcome back to Nikki's teaches Matt how to do 3D animation. Yeah, but where is the ability to change the amount of like X and Y things? That's the thing that's so confusing. Like, for example, oops, not Octane. Geometry. Go in here, lay down a grid. Right? So now I've got all these, but I can do the amount of rows. You know? Yeah, I don't know either. So, yeah. Wasn't sure if we wanted to like be in Blender and like modeling stuff, or whether we wanted to play around with Houdini some more. I've been in Houdini all week, and the more I'm in it, the more I just absolutely love it. It's such a fun program, and like I'm finally able to like, I've been able to wrap my head around like attributes and groups and stuff like that, and I feel like, you know, it's when your brain kind of makes these connections to like, oh, okay, I would use a group here, or oh, this is what I'd use an attribute for, or something like that. It like opens up your mind so much more to the possibilities of using them in other places. Like when I first learned espresso in C4D, it's like, oh, I can, the things are limitless. It's pretty cool. Yeah, what should we do today? Should we model something? Should we play around with mops? We can play around with some mop stuff. Should we continue making more stuff for Retro Thunder? Should we do something Mograph logo wise? That'd be fun. We can do that. Should we play around with some cops? Cops could be fun. I don't know. Oh, we there was also this new tutorial. Hopefully this doesn't open up anything weird. From Silverwing that we could play around with. Where is Silverwing? It's the new diffraction grading. So like, remember when we were trying to do press F9? Wait, on Blender? To edit grid. Okay. F9. It does nothing. F9 does not a thing. Yep. Nope. But yeah, there was this diffraction grading tutorial. You know, it was something similar that we were... Oh, okay. I need to delete it. All right, let's delete it. All right. Add a new grid. Mesh. Grid. Okay, now F9. F9 does nothing. I'm using industry standard a keyboard, not a Blender standard keyboard. Does that change anything? Yeah, F9 does nothing for me. That's weird. Let's see. Where's the preferences? Let's see what happens if I change it to... Oh, where is the input? Navigation. Oh, industry compatible. Let's do Blender, right? Yeah, so F9 works with that. Okay. There you go. See, that should be here. Why is this not here? Why is this subdivision thing not right here? That's so weird. Like, who would know that? Like, for example, we spent 2 hours last week trying to figure it out. And then what's the keyboard shortcut if you're using industry standard and not Blender? Let's see. It doesn't do anything. Add grid F9. Oh, is that like the default grid settings too? So if I create another grid, create a second grid, let's move it, right? But if I do this, oh, go back to our selection. Let's see, so now that you have a second grid in there, F9 only works to move. Huh. Blender is weird. See, now F9 doesn't work. That's so weird. It seems like a bug. Alright, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do today? Oh, we could try and play around with some Axiom smoke and stuff. Well, let's do... Let's do a grid. I'll do a transform. No, not F. That's weird. Form. On our grid, we're going to make it 2 and 2. So that then when we scale, nope. Oh yeah, how's Nuke? I tried. I've never really been into Nuke. I tried. What's the Black Magic one? I tried that one for a little bit, and it was fine. But I don't know. I'm an After Effects guy. I'm a try and get it in comp guy, who goes to After Effects if he needs to. tell you what. DaVinci, yeah, not resolve the Fusion. I tried Fusion before, and I liked it. It was pretty cool. So group by density. Density attribute. Oh, okay. We could create a attribute. So, hold on. Let me see if this works. Mops. Fall off. I want a shape fall off. By the way, I have like 100% fallen in love with mops. Mops is just so cool. All right, so let's do this. I think I need. Nope. Let's do this. Nope. That's not what I want to do. What am I doing? See what this looks like if I mops, motion operators. So they okay. I will let's show you some mop stuff. All right. So for example, we will start with a cube. Okay. So it's made by it's not made by Side Effects. It's a separate plugin. It's like $100, made by Toadstorm. But it allows you to do a lot of like super Mography stuff, you know, without having to do everything, which is great. So yeah, it's like $100 a year, which is awesome. So I'll show you. Transform. Bump. Dot, dot. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay. And I want to get rid of the grid because I hate the grid. All right. And then let's do a group. We'll do that. We're going to call this edges, edge bevel. All right. So then I'm going to select some edges. Let's do that and that. We'll hit enter. Okay, so we've got those selection you can see there. And let's do a poly bevel. So that's going to bevel our stuff. And then in our group, we're going to select our edge bevel. So it's only beveling those specific areas, right? All right, so we got that. Cool. We got that little shape. And then let's do a mops instancer. Actually, real quick, I want to do one more group and one more bevel. Let's see, group. We'll call this top bevel. Here we'll select this, go into edge mode, and then double click there. Hold down shift, double click there. Houdini is the best. And then we'll hit enter. That saves all that stuff up here. We'll do one more poly bevel. There. And then we'll add a little bit of beveling here. Okay. So we now have this nice little shape here. Okay. And then we'll throw this into a mops instancer. And a mops instancer is similar to like basically the clone of C4D. So let's see, where are we? Global distribution. This is the one thing that bugs me about like Houdini, is there are tabs within tabs, and sometimes I'll be like here and not realize I'm not at the top. So distribution, so this is XYZ, so we're doing 1 and 1, and then let's, oh geez. Come on. Distribution, fixed size, instancing. We'll transform, that's fine. Fixed size, no. We want to do, yeah, we'll do a grid. Why isn't that moving? Go back here, go back here. Here we go. Why is that not updating? Oh, is it because it's probably because I'm using my stupid. Yeah, it doesn't like when I do this. Here we go. All right, so we've got a 2x2 grid of this. So we can do like a 10 by 10, right? And it's one long, right? So now what's cool is we can do a MOPS transform. So this will transform all the individual primitives. So a MOPS instancer basically creates packed primitives, which if you're from C4E, it's similar to, it's making clones of stuff. So it's making instances of all those things. So those are packed primitives. It's, you know, whatever. Windows 100. Yeah. So then with this transform, with this MOPS transform, we can say, okay, well, we want everything to rotate. No, I think we need to do a, oh, that's a MOPS transform fall off. No, we don't want that. We want a MOPS transform modifier. So in the modifier, we can adjust like the rotation. So this is going to adjust the rotation of all of these. So we'll do like 180, for example. So it's actually rotating each one of those clones 180 degrees. Now in here we can do a MOPS, not plane fall off. I want to do a shape fall off. Shape fall off. And so we stick that shape fall off before. Actually, I don't know if it matters if we do it before or after, as long as it's the fall off attribute is the same. So right here, when you create this fall off, it creates this fall off attribute, which is called, this one is specifically called MOPS fall off. We can call it whatever we want. So if there's multiple transforms and stuff and we only want it to affect one, we can call it MOPS fall off, like transform. And so now it does nothing until we say what that we want to use that attribute. So right now it's MOPS fall off. It's looking for MOPS fall off, but it doesn't have anything called MOPS fall off. So if we call this MOPS fall off transform, then we're using this shape fall off now. So we can preview the fall off, right? And we want it to be linear. So if we, let's see, where's my gimbal? There we go. All right, so we'll just click on this and you can see as I move the fall off, it does the transform to it. So, and then let's set the scale a little bit bigger on our transform, not this one, this way. There we go. So you can see. Yeah, I know. Blender has a free add-on for that. MOPS Plus, or MOPS is free as well. They've got free versions which has these fall-offs and the transforms and the instancers and stuff. There's extra stuff in there such as like text and things, you know, that will also do it. So, but I really like this because then, you know, okay, I want to add a little bit of noise. I don't want it to be so uniform on there. I can add some additional scale or, you know, some amplitude to it, you know. And so then when I'm doing it, it doesn't do it so uniformly, which is pretty cool. So pretty fun. I really like, I really, really like mops and mops plus. Oh boy. So I have been trying to, it'll do animation offset as well. Yeah. I've been trying to go caffeine free. So I'm like, this is my first official full day. Past couple days I've had like one drink. So I'm a little tired. But yeah. Yeah, I really like mops. It's surprisingly easy once you wrap your head around it. And what's cool is like you can also use these fall offs in like your textures and stuff like that. So if you want one texture to be on one side, one texture to be the other, and it like transition between the two, you can very easily do that. It's pretty awesome. Here's something else you can do. You can change the remap fall off, right? To where it's like, all right, I just want it to be like in the center there, you know, and then it goes back. So you adjust that through your remap or your fall off remap. Do like a Bezier. Anyway, but yeah, that's fun stuff. Oh boy. What's up, Dances for Peas? Playing around in Mops Plus. I need an Octane romp. Bedtime for Mets. Yeah, seriously. Render setup. Camera. Then I think it'll work. Oh yeah. Let's do this. Hold down Command. There you go. Get rid of that. And here, there we go. I like lighting a lot. Lighting's easy. It's all backlight, fill light, and key light. Super easy. Here, let's do this. Let's do any tips on lighting? Yeah. So backlight, fill light, and key light. So for example, if we're here, let's bring in a Octane light, right? So we'll want at least a backlight first to backlight all of these individual objects. Okay. Then we'll make it kind of long. Nope, not translate, scale. So now we really need a texture on them and like an HDRI that doesn't have anything. Let's go ahead and make a texture real quick. Light opposite to the camera. So it's 3-point lighting. Basic 3-point lighting is 3-point lighting is the main thing. So for example, 3-point lighting, you can see here, I guess. No, this isn't 3-point lighting. This is a good one. Okay. So say your camera is like right here. Then you've got your key light, which is like your main light. So right now my key light is this light right here. Okay. So this key light is lighting up most of my face right here. And then I've got a fill light, which is right here, which is actually just a monitor. So like, for example, watch how it just lights up just a little bit, just fills it in a little bit. Like, so like going from turning on, you know, my Google like search engine that's white, it just adds that little bit of fill. And then if you'll notice, I have, here I can actually shoot up. You can see I have a backlight right there. That's just giving this nice little rim lighting, you know? So if you use your 3-point lighting, you know, your key light, your fill light, and your backlight in 3D, it's going to feel so much more in the 3D space. So for example, let's do a Octane material builder. Let's do this. Thank you. We'll do like a dark gray. And then we want this to be, oh, it's a standard surface, so thank you. Alright, we will drag and drop that on there. Let's refresh this. See if it actually did it. It did not. Object level, go into our geo. Render, put our material in there. There we go. So now you can see we get some nice little reflections from that. Thanks, y'all. But let's do a Octane. Oh, I think they do it. I think it's different here. Environment. Yeah, that's right. So preview, lighting, bring that down. Okay, so now we have like basically a black HDRI, a black environment. So you can see we're getting a few little hits along here, but what we can do is let's bring our lighting down a bit so that we get these nice little highlights on there. Chris H, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Thanks everyone for joining. Let's go back into our geo. Let's adjust our Chris H, we're learning about oh boy. Learning about 3-point lighting. And then our light, let's make black body emission. Let's make this a little bit stronger. So you can see, now see all these individual little highlights, you know, along the back and along the bevels and stuff. That's the same thing that's going on here with my lighting in real life. you know? So you get that will define kind of, that'll give a little bit more definition from the foreground and background, or what each of these individual things are. Now let's take this. I'm just going to duplicate it. That's fine. And then I'm going to, whoops. Oh boy. Let's unlock here. There we go. That's one of my favorite things about Houdini, is being able to like unlock your thing. All right, so then this will be my fill light, and then my key light. Let's make this a whole lot brighter. This is not showing up in here for some reason. Maybe just need a refresh. Nope. Weird. All right. Maybe that's an error. Octane light. This needs to rotate. Go. Bring it up. Nope. Bring it up. Make this a lot bigger. What is going on? There we go. All right, so now we've got like, you know, this is our main light. And then we do, let's see, this is our backlight. This is our key light. And then this will be our fill light. Man, this is being weird. Skipping virtual texturing mode. Okay. It might be because I'm using an older version of Houdini. There's been an update, like 5.2 or something. So. Shader, black body emission. There we go. There we go. So this may even be our key light because it looks better. Yeah. So basically with your key light, mocap kind of day, that's fun. So typically with your key light, you want that to be brighter than your fill light. So here, I guess. Oh, you know what? There we go. That's why I'm like, why are we having to use such a high power on this? You know? So yeah, like this is 257. Let's do our fill light. I'll make that white as well. And then this one should be below 257, just a little bit so that like you can see it. Man, does this one have like, yeah, there you go. So like turning it off, it just adds that little bit of fill so it's not so intense on the, yeah, so it's not like, yeah, super hot. So, and then you've got your backlight. Your backlight just does the little highlights on stuff, which, you know, it's getting some of these, but I would actually change it so that it's not so obvious there. So like, for example, maybe like something like that. Yeah, so you get some little highlights here, little highlights there, stuff. And then viewport. Where's the don't see in layer settings, camera visibility. There you go. So you can see as we turn these all off. Man, that's so weird. Okay. Off, off, off. Okay. So you can see our backlight, just adding little bits of highlights, especially along the bevels. That's why bevels are super important. because you can get those little glints and highlights. And then we've got our key light, which is our main light, which is my light right here. You can see it's doing a lot of the lighting here. And then this fill light just a little bit, just fills in just a little bit. And then when you put them all three together, you know, you get good highlights all around. Looks good. I mean, this is stupid because it's just like gray, you know, but it kind of gives you the general idea. 3-point lighting. You know, that's where you start. You start with 3-point lighting, and then if you need to fill in anything else, you know, then you work from there. So the main DCC people are using, we've got more Houdini artists now than we have like C4D artists, but we've got, I would say Houdini is the main one. C4D unfortunately has just become like it's an assembler, you know, and we only have to assemble stuff in C4D if like a client's wanting like project files, or, you know, one of the other people are using it. ABC, Already Been Chewed. Here, let's show some cool stuff from Already Been Chewed. Already Been Chewed .tv. This is where I work. This is my current full-time job. I just got hired there a few months ago, you know, so doing Mograph and working at Already Been Chewed. It's pretty great. Yeah, this was awesome. This was a Nike spot that we did last year. I was freelancing with them last year with this. This was all done in Houdini. You know, a lot of our spots though are brought over into C4D and stuff so that we can have multiple people working on stuff, but Houdini is the main one. Then we've also got guys who are working in, yeah, so this one was a mixture of C4D and Houdini. This one was a pretty heavy C4D one. I don't know about those. This one was a mixture of live action, After Effects, C4D, and then Houdini. More heavily C4D in that one. I don't know about the rest of these because I haven't worked on these. Yeah, this one was Maya, I believe. And then the modeling, yeah, the modeling is done in, most of the time it's done in Blender. So, I have been in Houdini all week. So like, and the thing is, when I got hired, I didn't, my official title is production lead. So I'm not doing, you know, I'm not necessarily behind the box all as often as everyone else, but I want to make sure that while I've got the opportunity to kind of learn from other much more, you know, powerful Houdini artists and stuff, that I've got that opportunity, I'm going to use it. So, you know, most of the stuff that I'm playing around with at work right now probably won't be used. We're doing some experimental stuff for a client right now, and it's like, it probably won't get used, but I'm in there playing around in between like meetings and project managing and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll hop into all of it, but I, you know, for the past few weeks, I've really liked Houdini a lot more than C4D. There are certain things, like, especially when you're dealing with like mops, you know, I know it's not built into Houdini and stuff like that, but like the ability, I know there's no better place to learn. Like learning, I sit next to 3 of the best Houdini artists, you know, in the world. And it is awesome just to like be like, hey, why doesn't this work? Or, hey, is there a way to do this or something? Like, I really like that you can take some of these fall offs and stuff like that, or like attributes from mops and use them in other places. You know, it's very, very cool. And it's like, it took me a bit to get my mind, it took me a while to get my mind wrapped around everything, but I think I've got a pretty good understanding of Houdini, and especially being able to now like start from square one all the way up to final finished render. like that's a huge source of pride, because like, okay, I now know how to texture, I now know how to do lighting, I know how to do camera movements and stuff like that, I know how to build a sequence, I know how to use the motion operators, I know how to set up renders, you know. And it's like, all right, that's your whole process. And I'm finding that I am like asking questions less and less, which is pretty great. So but the biggest thing that I've found with Houdini is like knowing which node it does what. You know, it's like, hey, where's the node that bevels, or where's the node that extrudes, or hey, how do I bring in a Illustrator file? And it's just like, oh, that's file, that's bevel, that's extrude, you know. But it's like poly bevel, poly extrude, you know, and file import or whatever. So but it's so much fun. I'm having a really good time learning. In the meantime. Oh. Chris, you're doing a lot of mocap. Are you what are you using for mocap? Are you using like an actual motion capture rig and stuff like that, and having to redo everything? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I haven't done too much motion capture in my time. Just a little bit, playing around and stuff like that. But I'm gonna have to start making these Thursdays a little bit earlier, now that I'm not drinking caffeine. Of course, this is my first week. We'll see how I feel next week. Let's see. Speaking of next week, we'll be here next week. For the live stream, I will not be doing either a show or a live stream. The week of Thanksgiving, I'll be up in New York with the family. We're gonna go, you know, elbow our way through the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, so that should be fun. We'll see how it goes. Where is Mops? Where's my... This is so weird. Yeah. The other thing is like realizing like VDBs and stuff like that, you know, like remeshing and turning stuff into points and then remeshing those points and stuff like that. It's interesting. Like modeling in Houdini is weird, you know. Let's make a pizza. All right, we'll start with a circle. Is that what it's called? Do here. I'm gonna turn off all these lights. And I'm gonna pause that because I don't need to do that. I'll get rid of that one too. Uniform scale. A lot more. Oh yeah, let's get rid of this. I'll put that material on there. I don't want that. Archetype closed. That's fine. Archangels. Let's see, inner extrude. I don't think it's bevel. What is is it? See, here's the thing. It's like, what's the node? Inset? Inset? Nope. Let's ask our good friend Chat. Nah, I won't ask ChatGPT. Like, inner bevel node Houdini. Oh, is it just polybevel? Polybevel. Alright, let's try that. See, and most of the time, it's like, what do I use here? It's like, oh, you just use the main thing. Nope. Polybevel edges. Let's do this instead. Not cylinder. What is it? It's not cylinder. Yeah, you know, I've been using ChatGPT to try and like ask it questions about Houdini stuff. It's not good. Like most of the time it doesn't have the correct answers, which is really stupid. Columns, da-da-da, end caps. Okay, we've got end caps. We want our height to be low. Okay, then I'm going to extrude, but we're going to create a group. Gemini AI. You know, it's funny, I was on a meeting today and the client was talking about something like a charitable program that they're doing and stuff like that. And so I like just Google searched them real quick and Google's Gemini came up with, you know, gave me a bunch of information as I was on the meeting with them. And it's like, okay, I know more about what y'all are doing. Dual cam motion capture for body, no suit, cleaning up an iClone, faces done in iClone as well, so it's good for that. Sending over to Blender, C40, cool. Yeah, ChatGPT is okay. I was vibe coding with it last week, you know, to try and create some like plugins and stuff, but man, it was hard. It was like, I don't know. It wasn't getting stuff correct. All right, so we'll select that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay, hit enter. That does that. I'm gonna call this crust extrude. So now on the poly extrude, do that, and we'll do a distance. But we're gonna set our group specifically to the crust extrude. There we go. That will be our crust. And then we need to do another group. I want a loop selection. Where's a loop selection? Yeah. Keyboard shortcut loop selection Houdini. Double click an edge to select its loop or add. Hold shift and control to pick double click. Yes. But that's your Laura loop selection faces. Hold down the A key and then the middle click key. A key and then, there we go. All right, so A and then middle mouse click. Cool. All right, then we'll hit enter. Oh, did that give it? Nope, it didn't take it. There we go. Making a pizza. Let's make a pizza. You know, why not? And this one, oops. Call this crust fill? I don't know. Crust fill. We'll do that. All right. So now that we've got this, let's do a remesh. Actually, we want it to be more doughy. So let's do a VDB from polygons. So it's pretty to like 0.05. There we go. Now we do a VDB convert. Do that. Here we'll convert to a polygon soup. So there we go. So now that looks more like your basic dough ball. Cheese pie? Cheese pie, yeah. Cheese pie. Let's throw a spiral down. See what this looks like. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Let's do a merge node. We'll look at this and we'll look at this at the same time. Oops. Alright. Radius scale. I haven't talked to him lately. I could text him and see how he's doing. I'll text him. We're all friends here, right? Yep. Ain't that the truth? Let's turn our AC on. It's a little toasty. There we go. All right, now, what is it? Is it sweep? Yeah. Oh yeah, let's get some of that saucy sauce. Radius. There we go. Build that out, do a transform. Let's see, is there end caps? End caps. Grid. There we go. There we go. Get some of that sweet, sweet sauce. Right? I'll adjust this helix. I wonder if I can adjust the individual points of the helix. I don't think I can. What's up, Brian? How are things? There we go. What's up, Maxime? How are y'all? Now we need cheese. So let's see. Let's do a cube. Let's take that cube, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit wider. Cool. That's good. Being busy is nice. There's been quite a few people who've been hurting for work lately, so it's good to hear that you're busy. Scatter. So we'll do that. Scatter. Copy 2 points. So what is this? Required geometry to copy. That's the points, and it's going to be really big. We need to make it smaller. Oh, excuse me. So one of my favorite things is just organizing the nodes. Well, let's do this instead. Down Y to cut that. Oops. Our merge. Let's do our copy points last. All right. Baking in Houdini. Yeah, you know it. How much snow did you get? I know up in, I think it was Chicago. Chicago, they got a lot of snow. But you are in either, I can't remember whether it's Vancouver or the other one over on the other side, not Toronto. I keep on wanting to say Manitoba, but it's not. Winnipeg? It's not Winnipeg? No, not Winnipeg. Montreal. That's what I meant. Oh, that's nice. That's fun. Ooh. Quebec. Quebec? No. It's Montreal. Right? I was in Montreal for the 3D motion tour. The DAT tour. Gosh, the design and animation tour. I have to forget names. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I knew that. Maxime, are you a fan of the Weaker Thans? I really enjoy the Weaker Thans. They're a Canadian band. We'll meet up in person, I promise. At some point. I hear Quebec City is beautiful. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Let's try this. Let's do a... Instead of doing a copy to points or a scatter, let's do a mops instancer. Mesh. I don't need that. Oh, ADM. All right. So Deadmau5, because he's Canadian as well. He's from the Falls, Niagara Falls. The Weaker Thans are great. I love the Weaker Thans. You know, I've been really big into the Mountain Goats lately. Honestly, for the past like 5-6 years, the Mountain Goats have just been fantastic. They are like, I was really sad that the Weaker Thans didn't like continue making music and like putting out stuff. It's been so long since an album, but the Mountain Goats like hit that it hits that love of lyrical whatever, you know, that the Weaker Thans had. And they're still producing music. They just released an album, I think last week. Yeah, Deadmau5 is cool. He's a nice guy. Jason Ross and Stephen Lyons for 2 theories. That's cool. We will drop this pizza into here. Now we have sauce. It's under the sauce. And we need... Oh boy. Canadian seems to revolve around... Oh, I love Propagandhi. Propagandhi is one of the best bands ever. When I was in college, I did a fake PETA ad, you know, like people for the ethical treatment of animals, not like, you know, PETA bread. PETA, and I used their song off of Less Talk More Rock. Let's see. What is it? What's the song? Oh, Mean is Still Murder. Yeah. Donut donuts and stuff. Be careful. Just bought myself a new car. Oh, I just crashed my new car. Oh man. Donuts are fun. They're also delicious. Alright, let's do a B2B from polygons. Let's do this. And I want to get rid of that. That separately, and then a convert. VDB. Do that again. Whoop. Polygon soup. There we go. I go in big parking lots, not trusting my skills. Yeah, I get that. The heck? What is going on? Why can't I select individual polygons? The normal's messed up. Lagwagon. Ah, that is a band name I have not heard in a long time. Yeah, savings for wieners. I can handle this. But no, really, I should save. Where are we at? Where are we at? Yeah, we'll just call this pizza. Why can't I select? Dryson is doing well, by the way. Sorry about that. I was just texting back. Select vertices, select edges, select points, select primitives. This is frustrating. Group type, primitives. What'd you send me? You're doing donuts. Dude. That's hilarious. That looks like fun. I wish it was snowing here. I kind of wish it was cold, because it ain't cold right now. Whew. Alright, I'm lost. Anyone with some Houdini knowledge able to help me figure out why I can't select my points? I'm trying to start this over. Group. Yeah, I don't know either. Try to work backwards. Got our VDB. Got our convert. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's try a blast node. Right? You know what we could do? Let's do this instead. See, why can't I? That works. That works. Why does that not work? You know what? That's fine. I can do it this way then. But I only want visible points. Oh, but you know what I need? I need to be on, dang it. Dough! Now I get to do that again. See if I can just do that. Ah. Okay, good. All right. There we go. All right, so mops instancer. Instead of doing a mops instancer, let's do this. We're gonna do a check the convert node. Polygon soup. Activity. There's not really anything. Oh. Did you try arc raiders? I haven't tried arc raiders. I don't think I know what that is. Is that a game? I like the design. Is this the one that everyone's having problems like trying to get on? I saw a bunch of people complaining about that the other day. Oh, okay. So you can't select polygons, group, node, Houdini. Activate the group node, then click inside the viewport. Yeah. That's what I did. Did I not do that? See you, Chris. You know what, y'all? I think I'm going to call it a night, too. I am so dead tired. So, but thanks, y'all, for hanging out. It's really great seeing y'all on every week, and I really appreciate y'all showing up. So, yeah. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys next week. Make sure to follow me on Instagram or follow me on mograph.com, you know, and hit me up. Let's chat. If you're not in the Slack or the Discord or whatever, come join us over there too. So, bye y'all. Have a good night.
It's pretty good, I guess.